Look, I got a lot of tribe questions for you.
Come on, let's go.
There is one thing that really stands out to me,
Hmm.
and it is that you guys performed SNL 2016 just days after the election,
Yeah.
which had to be so difficult. So
No.
difficult because of the not like getting you on stage was difficult, but just the mix of emotions and also knowing that you put out this album be at least some bars in there were because of this guy. So how was that when you put out the album, he won, and then you performed days later?
Dude, I feel like all of that was so serendipitous and God's will and all those things, all those terms they use, because our album, not even knowing, man, to be totally honest with you, was going to be the soothing for what needed to happen. Like we didn't know. Nah, that's not true. We knew he was going to win. I'm not gonna lie to you. We knew he was going to win, and we were kind of pissed off about it. So all the things that were happening leading up to that, like we spoke about it. We did the Grammy performance before that, and I think that's the first time anybody heard somebody call Donald Trump Cheeto.
Buster Rhymes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and that was amazing.
That was
That
amazing.
was that was amazing.
And you guys
Yep,
tearing through the wall too was amazing.
yep, yep, yep. All I think, like, it was so weird because all of those things came so natural to say to us, and not knowing that how relevant. We knew it had relevancy, but we didn't know how relevant it was going to be.
Mm-hmm. And yet it
Because
was.
yeah, because even Fife was going off on a on a political tip too. Like, what I'm saying, it was something.
There's, and I know it's to start the album, but like, look, man, I'm not gonna lie to you. On the space program, which I did a breakdown on with the Turks, but like, I'm not just saying this because you're here. I thought your verse was fan fucking tastic, just
Well,
so strong, and I I mean like there are so many moments where a lyric will speak to me, but
hmm
you touched on the future of the people. You touched on metaphorical Molotov cocktails, wink.
Woo.
You touched on the whiteness of presidents. You
Mhm.
touched on the poisoning of water. You touched on the mass unblackening. This is all within like a 45-second span. You
I
touched
know it was so heavy,
it
dude.
was
Like, yeah.
so heavy and it was so good. And then
Thank you.
you went with the metaphor as well of like, going to Mars.
Yeah.
How did you write this, man?
um, it's in my process. It's in my process. I believe that I have a extra special relationship with my creator, and I think that if I sit quietly, I can hear my creator speak, and they give me these things to say. There are things that are on my mind, you know what I mean? But like, yeah, it's that verse was insane, bro. Like, um, yeah, it's a summation of all the things I was thinking was going on at the time. They're talking about going to Mars,
Which
and
they're
I
still
was
talking
laughing,
about.
dude, and I was laughing with Tip, and somebody was like, one of my friends was like, "Yeah, man, we're going to Mars," da, 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 da. And I was like, "Oh, that's where all this niggas not going comes from."
Right.
That's where that came from. Yeah, so I didn't know that everybody was going to catch all of those little subtleties or little
Bullshit.
metaphors.
Don't do that. Bullshit.
No,
You guys are one
dude,
of the most
listen.
historic bands of all time. People are gonna dissect your shit left and right.
Okay, okay, okay. Because the Washingtons, Jeffersons, Jacksons. That's like, um, traditionally those are the names of black people. Also, that's money,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of sort of the black people ain't going, and you can't even pay for it. So there was a lot of things I didn't know that people are gonna catch on to or miss.
How long did it take you to write it?
Don't ask that. You're gonna be so mad. You're gonna be
Oh,
so
okay.
mad.
Well, 10 minutes.
Yeah. 15. 15 minutes.
That's okay. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna be mad at that. That's okay.
10,
Dude,
15
when
minutes.
it happens, right?
Yeah, it does. It does.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna also say something that's gonna piss people off.
Oh, let's go.
I don't have a rhyme book.
What?
I don't have a rhyme book.
So
I
you're
don't
like
practice.
so you're like Patrick Mahomes. Like you have a
I don't.
visual
I,
memory.
I don't practice. I don't practice writing rhymes. I write in emotion. This is why I say cooking and doing music are so similar. You're only good as your last record. You're only good as your last meal. The thing of when you get something, you cut that first piece of meat and you put it in your mouth. You're like, oh my god. When you hear the record, the beat first time, you're like, oh my god. So it's kind of like the same thing.
Or is it, oh my God? I'm sorry.
Well played, well played.
I had to.
Yeah,
I'm a
absolutely.
smart ass. I couldn't resist.
Yeah, no, 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 do that.
He said, do that. um, you talking about how some of your friends were like, we're going to Mars, and you basically saying, we're not going there. Did you have a vision of Whitey on the moon at all when you were doing that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That was kind of one of the inspirations for that song. I did that in the other song, uh the one with Kanye, Soldier. What's the name of that damn song? I can't remember the name of the song. The one I did with Talib and Consequence.
Mm,
Uh it's like a sequel to Strange Fruit by Billie Holiday.
mm-hmm.
Um these fruitful trees are rooted in bloody soil and torment. Things haven't really changed. We're dormant for the moment. Marks and scars we own it only makes for tougher skin. All that stuff's like a sequel for me.
Mm-hmm. Is it the killing season?
Yeah, killing season. Yeah, it must be killing season on the menu. Strange fruit, whose juices fill the progress of this here very nation, whose taste has gone bitter through justice expiration. Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can't believe that you don't write any of this down. That's
I,
insane to me.
I write it before I say it. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? But I go in the studio, I sit on the floor, grab a pencil, and I start moving the pencil around till words start coming out.
And do all of these usually take you about 20 minutes or so?
Um, well, no, not for that song. Not for Killing Season. An anomaly. Uh, the messed up thing about when I tell a story about the song is that it was during that summer where all those black kids were getting killed.
Mm-hmm.
And the fucked up thing about it is that I don't even remember which one because there was so many going on.
Mm-hmm.
I was like in tears and I sat on my front porch and I just wrote that song. Just wrote that song. And I was like, yo, Tip, listen to this. And he was like, yo. So we laid that down. And I was like, I got to get Talib Kweli on that one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Really makes sense. And I wanted to hear Consequences because he's a different perspective. He's a younger guy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted those perspectives because I know I was going to bleed my soul on that joint right there.
For sure. And you did. I wanted to not mention a name without fact checking it because I
Hmm.
was going to say the wrong name because
Hmm.
there are, as you said, too many black men that are being killed by police. Those
Yeah.
names are Alton Sterling, Philando
Mm,
Castile,
mm.
um, 2 years later, Stephon Clark,
Yes.
and Botham Jean. Those were in 2018. I thought it was Michael Brown, and that was 2 years prior.
It was Michael Brown, I think.
That was 2014,
That's the one that was in
Missouri.
yes.
Hmm.
I think that was the one that set me off.
Ferguson, Missouri.
And no, and also the guy in Staten Island, Garner.
Eric Garner.
Yeah, I can't breathe.
Mm-hmm.
Woo!
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I sang that song, one of my favorite line. Um, seems like my only crime is having melanin. Connection to the sun so strong the relationship is lusted for, causes men to suffocate. I can't breathe no more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Through the music, do you feel like it has helped shift the paradigm in the States? With, I understand the protests took part when
Mhm,
George Floyd was killed, but through
mhm,
the music, as you've even seen with uh, an example of somebody who was on this album as well, Kendrick Lamar, with some of his performances,
mhm,
being a prisoner, being shackled,
mhm,
seeing the reaction from Fox News and other
mhm,
conservative outlets. How do you feel
mhm.
the music plays a role?
The music is whew, only like one of the only surviving forms of uniting people. When you go to these concerts, you see a whole different, a myriad of different types of people, different nationalities, cultures, and all those things. But for that one moment when they're there, listening to them songs, they're one. You see white guys looking at black guys, arm around each other, singing the songs, like you know what I mean. So, music is very important. The frequencies of music heal. That's been proven. Um, and it's a chance for people to let go and not leave all of those negative aspects of getting along with people. They let all of that stuff go. The guy might have a pickup truck with the American flag and a shotgun rack, but then he's sitting next to the right next to the dude with the gold chains and all of that stuff, and they're both together singing the same thing at the same time. And I also believe that large numbers of people focusing on one thing changes the energy.
Mm. That's sort of what I miss about being younger and going to a ton of festivals.
Yeah.
Is there is just always that moment where it hits you, where everybody is singing that one song
Same time.
cohesively. Yes,
Woo. On
yes,
beat, on everybody at the same time. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
yes.
connected. And I also, when we started off doing shows, there wasn't just one type of music. I remember we went, it was us, um, Ghetto Boys,
Oh yeah.
Queen Latifah. You know, they used to do that back in the days. They don't do that anymore.
Do what?
Have different genres inside the genre
Mm-hmm.
at a concert.
Mm-hmm.
Because now you go to concerts, all thug dudes, all positive dudes, all this. They used to mix those up before.
Well, I think that also speaks to the fact that Ghetto Boys are now, just if we were to, playing imaginary that everybody is completely healthy and what have you, they're
Uh,
headliners. So
yeah,
it would be
yeah,
like competitive of like who opens for who,
yes, yes, absolutely.
Too much money to be
Absolutely.
made too with the headliners.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I just want to see people together in unity because that's what we do this for all people coming together. Us, tribe in particular. Our whole thing was about inclusion and everybody being a part of what we're going through. I mean, you're going to hear through my experience because that's the only experience I have, but it still brought people together. And that was one of the things I love about our group and our fandom.
Why do you think that? And let me just follow that up with this. Tribe is one of, if not the most respected hip hop groups of all time, if not just
Thank you.
music groups of all time.
Wow.
I've been told by a buddy of mine, shout out Britain, love Britain, fellow Chicagoan from the South Side.
Yeah.
He told me that I am very intentional with what I play for my daughter. And Tribe is on repeat, along with a select few of others, James Brown,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Sly, and
Oh, you
then
do. Oh yeah, you're doing well.
yeah, so then we'll mix it up. But I've been told I'm very intentional. Why do you feel as though your music has stayed not just positive, but been played over and over and over again by millions of people over the span of some 40 plus years at this point?
Jeez Louise, bro. I think that we were very intentional in the inclusiveness. Um, we are shouting, we're proud to be black at the same time, but it's not like, okay, I'm proud to be black and I'm better than you.
Mm.
We grew up like me, Tip, Ali. We went to high schools that were so mixed. We left our neighborhoods and went to specialized high schools. So we were with all kinds of people and we got along, we had all kinds of friends. So it's just the way that we were. And growing up and learning things and learning, understanding that despite our differences in the way we look and the way we do things, that there's not much difference between anybody.
Mm-hmm.
You'll find so many commonalities in people you least expect it.
From other backgrounds, you're saying?
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
I think this is a bit revealing. My parents, not fans of rap music.
Of
Now,
course
hip
not.
hop and rap, different, but
Mhm.
I don't know. It just spoke to me. And if there is, if there is one thing that they will at least just tolerate, which they hate it, all right? They
Yeah.
despise it. Okay, I had to
Yeah.
listen to this stuff on my Walkman in
Yeah.
private because they just
Mhm.
did not like it. But if my daughter, if they're in my house and I get to pick the music, at least they won't give me shit about putting Tribe on,
Right. Right.
which I
Right.
also find to be really, really interesting.
Well, I don't know if you noticed that it took us a couple of albums to even curse on records.
Mm-hmm.
Because the way we grew up, it's like we couldn't make this record and be like, here, have our parents hear it. We get, you know, we get our mouth smacked or something like that.
Would you actually
You
get
know?
your mouth smacked?
No,
Okay. Okay.
no.
Because if my mom heard me saying a swear word, she would pull
Mhm.
out a bar of soap.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, I remember those days. My grandmama was on that. My grandmother was on that. But no, I mean, we wouldn't even think to do it. It wasn't because of a punishment or anything. We wouldn't even think to do it. We'd be like, totally embarrassed at like our parents heard us cursing.
Right. Because then they hear it and they deadpan to you, like, come on.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You don't want those looks. The looks hurt more than any of the any of the corporal punishment you can get.